Welcome back, Shalligators. We're continuing our VMA coverage about the alleged, possible, maybe not really a thing incident where Billie Eilish seemed to kind of shade Jennifer Lopez when she took the stage at the VMAs. What does it all mean? We're going to break down what's actually going on, and more importantly, talk about what we can learn. How to process jealousy in a healthy way. And we've talked before about jealousy, and we've talked about the difference between like jealousy and envy and all these things. But we're going to focus kind of not just on jealousy like amongst women, but professional jealousy. When you are feeling like, oh, like there's a rival, like someone is further down the line than you. How can you use this to your advantage, if at all? We're going to get into all of it. But like I said, go ahead and check me out on YouTube Shorts right here on this platform. Also head over to TikTok and Instagram. I'm Shallon XO, where I'm posting little short rants. They're so fun. Like, it's so fun creating like that brand new content for you guys. I know I probably do too many, but I just do it on like breaking celeb news, and like, I like it. It's really fun. And I think that's all I had to talk about. I'll probably remember something else later. But okay, so here's what's going on. Last night at the VMAs, MTV VMAs, right, the who's who of Nobody Cares, J-Lo took the stage in like full J-Lo pageantry, like this peacock phoenix, a cock phoenix rising from not even ashes, just cock phoenixing around. And Billie, the camera panned to her, and she was like blank faced and wasn't clapping. Everyone else was clapping. She wasn't clapping, and she almost appeared to be like twiddling her thumbs, just like. And so the internet went wild, like she's shading J-Lo, and she's like not impressed by J-Lo, and both stan groups are like out in full force. And I asked you guys on my Instagram, like, what's the topic here? And I thought you guys were going to be very pro Billie, but it was like mostly pro J-Lo. Look, I love both of these women, but they're very different women. And who knows if she was zoning out in her own thoughts, if like the camera cut to her at a weird time, she just has resting bitch face. Maybe that's it. Maybe she literally doesn't like J-Lo, and she thinks she's like a cock phoenix and just like swanning around, and Billie's more of a vocalist. J-Lo is, I mean, there's the rumor that she doesn't sing her own songs. Have you guys heard that? Oh, it's this whole like conspiracy theory. I mean, it very well might be true. I have no idea. But I will tell you that I saw J-Lo live in person, like front row. I was there to cover the concert when I was working at the New York Daily News quite a few years ago, like a long time ago. I actually broke the story that she was pregnant with twins, because at one point her costume blew up and you could see her baby bump. And I was like, ah, that woman can put on a show. I mean, I've seen a lot of concerts. I've never seen anything like this. She is like high energy and running and jumping, costume changes, shaking it, hair flips, extensions, blah. And you don't realize how many J-Lo songs you know until you're front row at a concert. I mean, I'm older, so I was like definitely more around for her like heyday, like the Ja Rule collabs, but like, you know more than you think, and they're just such bops. Like, they're great. But like, Billie has a completely different vibe. J-Lo is extremely confident about her body, loves showing it off. Billie isn't there yet. She's getting there. As we speak, she is at the Met Gala in a truly beautiful peach-colored Oscar de la Renta gown. Love it. I mean, the waist and the titties and the hair is not my thing, though. This hair is, it's like when Taylor Swift cut her hair like that, and we're like, ooh, I don't love this hair color nor length or style on Billie. I think it ages her a lot, you know? It's okay to look young when you are young, but she still looks fantastic. And J-Lo looks fantastic. Look at fucking what J-Lo is wearing. She was dressed by Ralph Lauren. Here's a fun fact about the Met Gala. Did you know the celebrity doesn't get to pick what they wear? Unless they're like a huge star, the designer picks for them. And they're kind of paired up with designers. Now, I'm sure Billie got to choose Oscar because she's co-hosting the gala. J-Lo, I mean, quite frankly, can do anything she wants on planet Earth. She can take one of my kidneys. I don't even care. I have two. Take them both. I've had a good run, Jane. If you need them, you're more important than me. But yeah, they get paired up. And so that's when you see Met Gala like attendees and they're like kind of sad about their outfit. It's because they didn't pick it. They can make like tweaks, but that's about it. It's really interesting. Anyway, so they both look great. Oh yeah. So Jen's wearing this, you know, I think very Montana-ish glam outfit. Girl, please don't come here. I don't need this. So who knows what was actually going on between J-Lo and Billie? It could be that Billie's a little like salty and like unimpressed by like this old pop star. And someone even commented like in the suggestions on my Instagram, like, What has J-Lo even done besides be hot? That's enough. I've got fucking news for you. That's actually enough. To be 53 and look like her, if you want to leave a comment like that, I'm going to say this now. If you want to leave a comment like that down here, who cares? J-Lo's old. You are required to link your Instagram with your face and your body on it. Oh, wait, you don't want to? Or if you think all 53-year-olds look like that, link us a picture of your mom. Wait, what? We're not here to judge these women's bodies. We're here to judge their attitudes, okay? So who knows what's going on with Billie and Jen? Maybe they don't like each other. Maybe they've never even met. Maybe they don't care. But one topic suggestion that came up a lot on the Instagram poll that I gave to you guys was how to stop tearing women down and be supportive of other women. I didn't do that topic because I don't agree with that. I don't agree with what I believe is toxic positivity about other women. I will fight to the death for another woman's rights, the same equality, the same opportunities. But I don't have to just like and blindly support women just because we happen to have the same hardware. Right? I mean, think about if you extended that, or if you actually not extend it, roll that back. Support all other white people. No. No. Support every left-hander. What's wrong with you? No. I think Hitler was left-handed. We do not claim him over here. I mean, of course, I think that should be our baseline way of looking at the world. Hey, good for you. You do you. But I think if someone is not earning your respect or doing things that you find distasteful, that's valid. You're allowed to have that opinion. I know that that's kind of an incendiary thing. I don't believe that that's anti-feminist. I believe feminism is true equality, and equality means I judge you by a certain metric and you don't get a pass just because you are female, black, white, left-handed, whatever. You are the metric by which I judge people is behavioral, and not just because dueling vages. You got a vag, I got a vag. Cool, we've all got vages. What's next? You need a little bit more than that to qualify as someone I support. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about with this? Well, let's talk about so much of the time, cattiness is jealousy. But not always. It goes back to that toxic positivity. No, sometimes people just don't like you or you don't like them. And it's not because you're jealous. No, I just don't like you. I think you're obnoxious. I think you're rude. I think you're untalented. I think you're undeserving. I could go on. I think that's something that people put on women. Oh, if you don't like another woman, you must be jealous. Nobody says that to men. Nobody says all men should support all men, lift each other up, brother. No one's saying that to men. And no one's saying it's Dan at work, I fucking hate that guy. It's you're probably just jealous, honey. It's no, I'm not jealous of him. He's a fucking idiot and he makes my job harder because he can't follow instructions. That's not right. And no one says that to dudes. Anyway, it is truly such a thief of happiness because what is the ultimate thief of happiness? Comparison. And jealousy is the disgusting Grendel-like offspring of comparison. I mean, you're either going to feel inferior, right? After you compare yourself with someone, you're going to feel superior and And of course, there's positive outcomes. We're talking about the negative ones. And the negative ones, those all engender jealousy, in some form or another. So it's just always very toxic. And we hate to feel that way because it's this thing that itches at you and you cannot get away from it. Or can you? Can you get away from jealousy? Can you actually turn that emotional setback into a setup? How can you do that? If you let it, jealousy is a fantastic signpost. It is not a destination unless, again, you let it. Jealousy, if you are strong enough and brave enough and alpha enough, basically, to let jealousy speak to you in a deep way, jealousy is not where you end up. It's just a place you pass through. It's a rest stop on the way to a fantastic destination emotionally and experientially. What do I mean? When I was working in New York City and I went to the Met Gala, when I was going to these things, when I was going to Fashion Week, and it's I know I've talked about this before, but it's when I would walk into a room and feel not confident, jealous, I wasn't looking at like the coolest girl in Alpha Phi. No, I was looking at Olivia Palermo. I was looking at Bella Hadid. I was looking at a Kardashian. Like, legitimate people to envy, legitimate people to compare yourself against. And it's real hard to come up big. And, you know, like, it's tough. Like, and I realized, and I was like 24, and I'm like, this is my job. This is my career. I'm going to be doing this for a while. It's going to be really fucking miserable if I don't get a grip on this. Like, I mean, the thing that I love journalism. I love my jobs. I love these events. It's going to turn into something I hate, and it's going to erode me, and I'm going to get so bitter. And I looked around that media scene, and I saw women who were bitter. So instead of getting furious, I got curious. I befriended models. I befriended actresses and celebrities, editors who were higher than me on the food chain, these beautiful, leggy fashion girls who were like, oh, my name's Taryn. I went to boarding school in Switzerland and like did a gap year with Prince Achilles of Greece. And we just like sailed around, you know, just like all legs and hair and vocal fry. And I'm like, it was so easy to hate these girls. Like, they're like on daddy's credit card and they have like a little pied-à-terre in the West Village. And I'm like eating ramen 24/7. I'm like going to die of scurvy because of it. But I thought, you know what, Shallon? They've got something you want. Now, on the surface, it's daddy's credit card, the place in the village, the, you know, fast metabolism, whatever. But I'm like, no. It's something beneath that. Like, yes, I would not turn any of those three things down. It's an attitude that they had. That's what it was. All those rich, beautiful girls had this attitude of, life's just gonna work out. Yeah, no, I'm like not stressed. I'm like up for senior editor. But I mean, it'll like be fine. If not, whatever. I'll just like go to Vanity Fair. It's fine. They had this way of moving through the world that was extremely graceful. And yeah, that was because everything had just kind of been worked out for them. I thought, well, that's just out of reach for me. I mean, I can't rewind and have a whole different set of parents and a boarding school in Switzerland. I thought, no, that's true. But what if? What if? And this is a motto we've said here before. What if the secret to being a hot girl is simply deciding that you are one? Has there ever been a more revolutionary phrase in the history of women? Think about it. What if you just decided? What if I just decided to move through life based on no evidence or history, but just based upon my own decision that life's gonna work out? It's like, fine. I trust the process. I trust that my dad will bail me out. Like, that's what they default. I trust that like my dad's got it. I trust something bigger than daddy. Maybe I'm trusting Heavenly Father. Maybe I'm trusting the universe. Maybe I'm trusting my own ingenuity and work ethic. Maybe I'm trusting that. And maybe that's actually bigger than like dad. Maybe it's something larger to rely on and rest on. And so I could take a breath and be like, no, I really do got this. What if faith is something you simply choose? Now, I know you're probably thinking, this seems way off topic for being jealous. Is it? What is jealousy if not a siren going off in your emotions saying, I want that. That is where we want to be. Whether it's that weight, that closet, that job, I don't care. I want that. Okay. What if you just paid attention to that? And instead of hating, instead of turning all that emotion, because now you've got all this energy stirred up inside you, right? You're like, you're all gassed up and everything's swirling in your mind. You're just like, you can taste metal in your mouth. You know that miserable feeling? What if you could somehow like push that like a ball of energy, like you're an X-Man, and just push it out? Not out towards a person, not out towards Jennifer Lopez or Billie Eilish or Shallon Lester, but towards the world itself. What if I could say, okay, what if I was brave enough to really get to the root of why I'm sitting here at the VMAs having a bitch face at Jennifer Lopez? What is it that Jennifer Lopez fucking represents that I don't have? Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's, she gets to be, why the fuck is she 50 goddamn 3 years old out there trotting around like she owns the place? She's just so confident. Why does she get to be so confident and I don't? Now we're on to something. Why does she get to have something and I don't? But what if the answer and the way to be the hot girl is to decide that you are one? Then Jennifer's not someone to feel loathsome towards. She's a signpost. She's a rest stop. She's a person cheering you on from the sidelines that you high five as you run towards your own finish line. What? I bet if there is some sort of like meh thing going on between BILLIE and Jen, I bet that's what it's about. But what if the thing you envy has nothing to do with looks, has nothing to do with popularity? What if it's a work thing? And you're like, no, this person is not smarter than me, but they are higher than me on the food chain. Like, what the fuck? Okay, get curious, not furious. And truly, neutrality is the hardest thing in the world. Neutrality is the hardest thing to achieve with a fuckboy, right? Hate is not neutrality. The opposite of love isn't hate, it is apathy. Neutrality is so important though. And we don't need like a ton of it. Like we don't need to just be like this monk drifting through life like emotionless. Just sometimes like an eyedropper full of neutrality, just that little pull back can just give us a world of perspective. So if you can gain any sort of neutrality about this person who you envy, oh my God, girl, you're gonna hack this in a minute. In New York City, for so long, really, I watched people ascend and leapfrog up the corporate ladder and here and around the food chain. And I was like, seriously? And again, I decided to get curious and not furious. I was like, okay, what actually are they doing? Most of the time is that they were sucking up. That most bosses are narcissists and psychopaths and they love toadies and flatterers, right? And in some instances, I was willing to do that. I was able to swallow enough of my pride, play the game, and I got ahead rapidly. I did it at Star and I went from like a freelancer to editor-in-chief, in like 6 years. Does that not sound easy? Try it. Bye. But other times, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I'm not saying you have to. But at least I felt like now I had choices because I figured out, okay, that's why Casey has the job that she does. That's why Steph is where she's at. Okay. Oh, she's fucking the boss. Oh, she's like kissing the VP's ass. Okay. Do I want to do one of those things? Maybe, maybe not. But when I felt like I had choices based on the data that I had gathered, based on the amount of neutrality I was able to conjure up and get past my own feelings and bitterness, those choices help to negate the jealousy, because what jealousy is so much of the time is a feeling of helplessness. Look at her body. She just looks so good and I just feel so disgusting, right? We feel trapped in our body, trapped in our cubicle, trapped in our income. But when we can feel like we have a choice, oh, she's got that Vuitton duffel because actually she strips on the weekends. Do I want to strip on the weekends? Girl, I would love to strip on the weekends. I would love to be a stripper. I would. They earn their money and they're so pretty and they smell good. Anyway, I love it. But now I feel like I have a choice. Okay, now there are options because I've hacked what it is about that person and what they have and how they got there. She's got a ring on her finger. Yeah, but she doesn't have any friends because her boyfriend won't let her have any. I don't want a ring that bad. Okay? Now we feel like we have some power because we're making decisions, again, based on data, based on neutrality. And all it takes is just that little simple pullback. And see in both of these instances, whether it's something you envy about someone in terms of like their body, their popularity, like that sort of genre, or whether it's like workplace, an achievement based, both require you to pull back and be like, what's actually going on here? Am I envying a fantasy that doesn't exist? Am I responding to someone's social mask? Oh, she's got the Balenciaga, she's got the Yeezys, She's also in $60,000 worth of credit card debt. Okay. And you know that because, again, curious, not furious. Again, what I decided to do when I was young in New York, I'm going to get closer to these people who I envy. I'm going to see what makes them tick. Are they like running the corporate office and getting published all over the place because they get up at 5 and they eat a protein shake? Or is it because they're fucking the boss? Does she have all these beautiful designer clothes because she's just so good with budgeting her money and she invests in Bitcoin? No, it's because she's maxed out 4 credit cards and she has lawsuits against her. But again, once I know, I can dismantle that feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, bitterness, and get some more clarity. There is no one who has a perfect life. This is very important. Mo money, mo problems. People at the top of the corporate food chain, I was there and it was a lot of fucking work. And I remember when I was there and I was running things, I'm like, I miss just being a freelancer. That I'd be like, here's my article. It's a bad one. I can't hear you. Bye. I'm clocking out. Bye. Like, I just didn't have like the problems I had, So where you're envying someone and for what they have, what they look like, what you perceive, also really try to get neutrality and clarity on how realistic that is. Do you honestly think that if you had a fiance, you would never have a problem again? No. Do you really think if you had that corporate office, you would never feel insecure about your skill set or like an imposter? I can tell you for certain that's not true. Do you really think if you had those abs and those perfect tits, every guy would love you and you would never get ghosted and you would never get taken by a fuckboy? I can also tell you that's not true. Literally look at J-Lo. Dated just a cornucopia of garbage. Boiled hot dog. Never forget that. So make sure that the thing you're envying, first of all, even exists, or if it's this fantasy. Make sure it's not, because it is. Make sure you look at what it's trying to tell you about yourself and what you really want and where that signpost is pointing. But moreover, make sure you're not mythologizing it as the ultimate getaway car, the ultimate emotional getaway car. And it's so easy to do that. Like my thing that I always envy is people's bodies. I've talked a lot about my own body image issues, and like someone can call me dumb or ugly and I'm like, okay, you call me fat and I'm like, what? Because I believe that I'm fat. And so that gets to me. That's why I love Jennifer Lopez. That's why I definitely understand Billie Eilish and where she's coming from with her body. And I get it. It's such a loaded thing. So when I see these beautiful girls with these perfect bodies, I automatically think if I looked like that, nothing would be wrong in my life. Nothing would be wrong. I would never be sad again. How could I possibly be sad if I'm a size 2? I have been a size 2 and I was sad. And there was no real difference in my life, but that's a whole other story. I've actually done videos on this in conjunction with Adele when she lost weight and like how we feel about our body. So check that out. I have a whole playlist on body image and confidence, and it's just such a rat king of an emotional knot, right? It's just... But I really try to stop myself when I get in those spirals and I get in those assumptive getaway car sort of loops and be like, Shallon, that's not true. Shallon, you don't know why that girl's a size 2. Maybe she's addicted to Adderall. Maybe she's got a digestion issue and she's miserable, or maybe she loves her body and she works out all the time and you like to sleep in though. Okay, like everyone's on their different path. And what we are reacting to is perception. It is almost never reality. It is almost never reality that we envy. It is almost always perception. So your job to process jealousy in a healthy way and turn it from the setback into the setup is to differentiate perception versus reality. Try to gain that neutrality. Try to look at that emotional signpost. Try to befriend these people and find out what is real, what is not, what makes them tick, how did they get there, how can you borrow some of that work ethic, networking skills, confidence, ab routine, whatever it might be. How can you sort of not be a user, but be like, view them as a mentor and not someone who is eroding you? Because you know what? The J-Los of the world are happening. Jennifer is not going to go anywhere. She will outlive us all, and she should. So if we try to live our life avoiding successful, beautiful, happy, engaged, fit, rich, whatever, fill in the blank people, girl, that's going to be a long one. That's going to be a long one. So these people are going to exist no matter what. Do you want to use them for good, or do you want to use them for corrosion and misery? It doesn't mean that you're going to have this perfect, healthy self-esteem. That jealousy is always going to get there, but it is our life's work in all categories of emotions to have the guts and the willpower to say, no, fear brain, that crazy screaming snooky brain, no. I'm not listening to you. I'm not going to mean mug that beautiful girl at a party just because she's taller and thinner. I'm not going to do that. When a tall, beautiful, thin girl walks through the door, I'm going to be like, hi, bestie. Because I've decided I'm a beautiful girl too. So, hey, same. Like attracts like. Oh my God, we're so alike. Doesn't that feel like a lighter way to live? You know I like evil. You know I like mayhem. But not in this category. In this category, I like love. And again, it doesn't go back to like, we have to support and love every single woman. No, the fuck we don't. I know a lot of beautiful, shitty people, and it's like, well, great, good for you, get out of my life. But we do owe it to ourselves to try to turn negative emotions into positive ones. Not for like the live, laugh, love crowd, choose kindness. No. But for our own well-being and our own heart and our own success and our own longevity. So I want to know what you guys actually think happened between BILLIE and J-Lo. And of course, tell me your thoughts on the Met Gala. Are you liking what you're seeing? Is it ugly? Who do you think looks the best? Who do you think looks the worst? Ooh, David from Schitt's Creek. Ooh. And I don't get the Lil Nas X thing. I don't really get the hype. Do you actually listen to his music? I don't know. He has a song called Panini. I can't listen to that. All I want is a goddamn panini. Why would he do that? What's next? Queso? I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity. All right, I'll see you later, Shalligators. Like I said, be sure to check me out on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and of course right here on YouTube Shorts for teeny, hopefully witty and fun little celebrity rants. I'll see you next time.